Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
C'est la dernière, hein. J'ai mis votre nouveau jeu de clés sur la table.
Ah, merci. Et vous avez vu que la porte du jardin se coince?
Ah ouais, mais moi je fais que les serrures, hein.
Ah bon? Bon, bah, d'accord.
Welcome to Kermode Uncut. Here's a question for you, posed by my colleague Guy Lodge in the Observer newspaper. Is thespian auteurism a thing? Now, Guy wrote that in a review of Elle, the new movie by Paul Verhoeven starring Isabelle Hupert, which has just come out on DVD in the UK. And I mention both Hupert and Verhoeven together because, in a way, they're equally responsible for the film. Yes, Paul Verhoeven is absolutely an auteur. A few frames of his movies, you know it's a Paul Verhoeven film. But Elle is a movie which could not have been made with anybody other than Isabelle Hupert. It's based on a novel, Oh, by Philippe de Gion, and it's directed by Verhoeven. But Verhoeven has said that nobody else would have been brave enough, nobody else would have been strong enough, nobody else would have been powerful enough to make the film. Originally, he considered making it in America, but decided that it could only be made in Europe. And it could only be made with Isabelle Hupert. In my own review of the film, I wondered whether she was not the author or indeed the auteur of her own story. I raised the same question. Can we say that this is an Isabelle Hupert movie more than a Paul Verhoeven film? There are precedents for this, of course. Andrew Saris, who was such a pioneer of the auteur theory, acknowledged that actors could perhaps be auteurs, particularly when it came to comics. I mean, people like the Marx Brothers or W.C. Fields could be seen as the driving forces behind movies. And look at a film recently like The Mummy. Who's been blamed for The Mummy? Well, Tom Cruise. I mean, Tom Cruise is basically the person who is responsible for The Mummy existing and at whose door has been laid the blame for its failure. Lots of stories about him interfering in the edit, but it's more than that. It's that it is a Tom Cruise movie, first and foremost. As I said in my review, you could almost have called that film Tom Cruise. It just happens to have some monsters in it as well. Elle is a really terrific movie. It's also very controversial. It has a very, very blackly comic tone. And it's a movie which raised some eyebrows. It also got awards consideration. Hupert herself was nominated for an Oscar at the Academy Awards, and rightly so. It's a brilliant performance. It is unfilmed de Paul Verhoeven. But for me, and for Guy Lodge, and I think for others, it's unfilmed de Isabelle Hupert first and foremost.
La honte, je te dis pas.
Tu sais, la honte, c'est pas un sentiment assez fort pour nous empêcher de commettre quoi que ce soit. Crois-moi.